What is good, y'all? It's your boy Deluxe, aka Platinum LaFlame. I am here over at Zay's house, knocking this thing out at 1 a.m. Zay, you got anything to say to them before we start this tutorial?
Boy, wake your ass up.
I have to yell a little bit so Zay can wake his ass up. He falling asleep on the couch, but we're gonna get through this tutorial. This is a FAUX, lightweight, like comb over type style. I don't really know what to call this. This is my client Mike. I've been cutting him up for a couple years. We just kind of like create this thing and it always comes out pretty dope, pretty sharp, so I thought I'd share it with y'all. So first things first, all I'm going to do is start combing out his hair. He does have a little product in it. I didn't wash his hair out. I don't know why I didn't wash his hair out, but I just take it down with a 7 guard, starting from the top and going all the way to the back. I do go over this a lot just because his hair is a little bit more curlier, a little bit more wavier. Then I'm going to go ahead and take out my Slimline Pros and start that first bald guideline. I am going to start from that middle arch and work it right behind the ear. I'm not going up too high. It's kind of like a mid to low bald fade, as you can kind of see right there, that angle. It's kind of just like right after I get past that ear, I'm following that nice little half circle and dropping it right behind. Then I'm going to go ahead and set my next guideline with my Andis Fade Master 0 guard, going about 3/4 of an inch up, and I'm just going to work that with a no guard, close halfway, then open. Now when I am working in tight areas like this, as you can kind of see, I don't have that much room to work with in terms of fading, so I'm really going to take nice slow strokes with the clipper and kind of work with and angle the clipper in the direction of the arch of that guideline. Then after that, I'm just gonna go ahead and open up my 0 guard, going up another 3/4 of an inch to just set that next guideline. Afterwards, working my way from close halfway to open on that lever, make sure everything comes out as smooth as possible, that there's no dark spots left behind. And then just going up and cleaning up with those awesome speed lines that I have. I'm just gonna use the corner technique right here, kind of picking at it. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and repeat those same steps on the other side. I only like to take it up to a 0 guard at first, because after that, that's when most of the fade starts happening out. So I just at least like to get a portion of the fade done on one side and then go off to the other side, kind of flip back and forth. So as we're waiting for this next side just to kind of roll through, I do be getting a very common question asked to me all the time, and that is, Deluxe, how can I increase my cash flow? How can I start charging more? And there's a couple things you can start doing. One, you can add like a couple more services. You can start doing a facial, maybe you give them a massage, maybe a hot towel in there, but that's all additional stuff that kind of takes more time. One thing that you can just implement right here, right now with your current clientele is just start getting better with your scissor game. When I'm talking about scissor game, I'm not just talking about knowing how to hold a pair of shears. I'm more talking about styling and cutting a correct style of hair. If you look at the trend of the barber industry right now, we're going into more of a stylist and cosmetologist are merging with the barber skills and fades. Now I was able to try this on my clientele. I have a lot of clientele that has a lot more straighter hairstyles. Before, I only just cut it like real straight and evened out and didn't really know how to style their hair correctly. And a lot of this was pretty simple stuff, whether it's point cutting, learning how to texturize the hair, or even just applying different product to somebody's hair. And if you look on Instagram as of recently, a lot of the trends and what they're going in is more towards like these real supernatural matte looks that you really can't even get out of any pomades or even gels. If you try to use any gels or any heavy and sticky pomades, you're not going to get the same results. Clients are going to be kind of confused at why their hairstyles aren't looking like the ones they showed you from their phone when they sat in your chair. And not only that, you're going to be so fucking frustrated, trust me, I've been there before, as to why your cuts don't look like everybody else's that is trending on Instagram that you see all over the place. Now, because I want you guys to start creating these hairstyles that you see all over Instagram right now, not only am I going to offer you guys my form of sea salt spray, which I call beach spray, but I also want you guys to try out my hairstyling powder as well. Now, both these products usually run for about $47 if you buy both on my website. Now for those that are watching this video, I'm gonna treat y'all a little bit. So with your purchase of the beach spray that you guys are gonna make, that does go for $25. I'm gonna throw in a free bottle of hairstyling powder using the promo code down below in the description. That is a $21 value in the hairstyling powder that I just want to give you guys for free to start learning and start creating hairstyles that's going to create you more income. And your clientele is going to love it. I can already guarantee that shit. Alright, so get started on this other side. This side's gonna be a little bit quicker, but all I'm gonna do is take down that very first nice little guideline from my 3-guard close. You're gonna see me going in with the thinning shears, lay everything down, and then I'm just gonna work my way down from a 2-guard open to close and a 1-guard open to close to kind of meet up with that fade where I left off at. Then I'm gonna go ahead and grab my Slimline Pros, start the lineup process. Then I'm gonna go ahead all the way back. This is where we're gonna start creating that V. He only likes like a real simple V. So to begin with, I'm just gonna take down the hairs going with the grain, and then I'm gonna go ahead and apply a spritz to go ahead and make sure that lineup is nice and crisp. I'm gonna kind of center everything off as well too. So what you saw me do right there is just kind of get like base the center of where the point is gonna end up at, and then I just go from the middle and work my way to each point of it mid-ear. I kind of go and just connect it from like that very back middle part of the neck, and I just pick a point on each side of the ear if they're both evened up. And I just pick a section of the ear to kind of base everything off of, and I just easily work my way side to side, making sure everything's all straight. Sometimes it does get a little off angle, so you will see me going back over it, kind of taking a little bit more off of that line, but the end result is going to be a nice, sharp, crisp lineup. Then I'm going to go ahead and start brushing and start combing down his front hairline, kind of separating between his longer hairs and his shorter hairs for his lineup. Go ahead and apply another spritz, and then we start the front lineup, going of course from the center and working my way to the right side first. And then I'm going to go ahead and start putting in that hard part right there. When I'm going to go ahead and put in the part, usually I do use my clippers first before I break out a trimmer. I just went in right with the Andis Slimlines first, going with just going in regular. Then I flip them upside down to make sure that bottom part of the line is nice and crisp as well. And then what I'm going to do after that is go ahead and go in with my straight razor blade too to make sure that thing is all nice and sharp. And then just to finish it off, before I apply hair fibers, I am going to kind of freehand the top of his head. He does have like some hair, some flyaway hair sometimes. I do this to some clients, you know, if the clipper guard doesn't take everything down all even. Sometimes they have lumps in their head. Sometimes their hair just doesn't feed through the clipper. There is hair that does pop up. This is just a good way to kind of make sure everything is all nice and even out, and that you can control what is getting clipped off. And then of course just applying my enhanced hair fibers. Afterwards, making sure that lineup is super crisp. When you do apply hair fibers, sometimes that lineup does kind of get a little blurred just because the hair fibers don't go on nice and crisp. But make sure whenever you are applying fibers, you do reline everything up and hit it with the straight razor again. Now, whenever I do a straight razor, I always do try to focus on that hook part. I think that's one of the more important parts of the lineup that really makes it pop. You can, focus on the front lineup, that sidebar, but really where that hook is at. If that hook isn't sharp or that hook is not defined, you can't see like a nice little shade of the fade in there, it's gonna kind of throw the whole thing off. And then to finish my boy's haircut off, I am going to be using Dunn's Butter. This is a nice, great smelling pomade. I always like to finish it off with anybody with waves or more coarse hair. My client does like his hair a little bit more slicked down, have a little bit more control, a little bit more wet look to it. And this product kind of attains that perfect look that he wants to have. And then afterward, just going in with my shears, kind of clipping off any other stray hairs that are kind of flying off. And that's the end of the bald fade mohawk comb over, I guess you want to call it. I don't even know what the hell type of style you want to call it. I kind of just say, hey bro, the usual. It's like, yep, the usual. So I don't know what to call this. You can call it the comb over faux hawk, you can call it the bald fade mohawk comb over, whatever the hell you want to call it. This thing is super fresh. Mike is always very happy with the end result, and you guys got some. Appreciate you guys for watching as well as subscribing. I'm gonna see you guys next week. I'm in the UK, so y'all gonna see me out there doing a video and shit. But I'm gonna see y'all next week regardless.